The room was a cage of shadows, stitched together with trembling light. Seo Isul's breath came in short, stuttering waves as if the air itself resisted him. His wrists were bound like forgotten promises, tight, unyielding, trembling with tension. The Alpha stood over him, a storm wrapped in skin, voice low and smooth, like a knife drawn slow. I like the way your throat fits beneath my hand, Seo Isul. His fingers curled around Seo Isul's neck, not with brute force, but with the precision of someone who knew exactly how far to push a soul before it broke. The pressure wasn't just physical, it was a claim. Try to say it. Say, Young, I like you. His breath was a ghost against Seo Isulia, cold and intimate. Say it well, and I will let this go. The silence stretched like glass, fragile, waiting to shatter. But the Alpha leaned in, voice silk-wrapped steel. But maybe you don't want to say it. Do you, Seo Isul? Tell me. Then scene shift to the Seo Isul home. The door clicked shut behind her, like the closing of a well-rehearsed play. Mother lightly said, Oppa, come back next time, Tilda. She floated into the room, a beautiful storm cloaked in perfume and pretense. The air shifted with her, stirring dust and disarray. Bottle, pulled from the freezer like a secret she didn't want found, met her lips. Mother grimacing and said, his pheromones like cheap cologne on rotten fruit. Then, a stillness, presence. Seo Isul stood like a shadow in the doorway, papers clenched in her hands, the weight of truth folded between two trembling palms. Seo Isul softly said, Mom, this. The school gave me this. Her mother snatched the documents, like tearing bandages from old wounds. Her eyes scanned, lips pressed into a line sharp enough to draw blood. Mother dismissively said, You just have to study. What else do you have to offer me? Then her gaze landed. One word, one truth etched in bold type, Omega. The room fell silent. The air changed again. Mother quietly, uncertain, and said, Omega. Seo Isul said, Yes. Her mother's voice shed its thorns. Mother gently said, Seo Isul, don't worry too much. She reached out, like sunlight slipping through a storm cloud, and brushed Isul hair, as if trying to smooth years of silence. Seo Isul said to himself, that smile, soft as moonlight on a bruised sea. That touch, like the first breeze of spring on winter skin. For a moment, I believed she loved me. But that moment, like summer, would not last. It wasn't until I was 20, at the end of that summer, night poured into the room like ink, thick and suffocating. Man sat there, dressed in politeness like ill-fitting skin. His smile was too perfect, carved from something that didn't feel human. Man too warm, too rehearsed, and said, Hello. You are the best, aren't you? Behind him, her mother stood, not as a guardian, but as a merchant, clutching bills like petals from a poisonous flower. Her smile curled like smoke from something burning inside. Mother, sweetly venomous, and said, Seo Isul, this is a way you can help your mother. Help. The word cracked against his chest like a stone thrown at glass. Seo Isul whispering, Mother. The man stepped forward, not a person, but a shadow in motion. His voice slid into the room like oil on water. Man soft, sinister, and said, Uncle has taught many beginners like you. Don't be afraid. His hand reached out, gentle in form, cruel in intent, a spider's leg brushing the edge of its web. And then something inside his snapped, string pulled too tight for too long. He shoved him away, the act sudden, violent, necessary, like tearing free from a noose. The room fell behind him. He ran. Mother shouting, fading, Seo Isul. Where are you going? But the world outside didn't ask questions. It just opened its arms to her chaos. Seo Isul, inner voice, breathless, breaking, and said, Those cold eyes, they cling to me like frost on skin. My mind turns to fog, and I can't find my way through it. Thoughts scatter like birds at a gunshot. So I ran, and kept running, as if distance could peel off the fear. As if speed could erase the touch I never wanted. On a road where silence wrapped the air, Seo Isul walked, cold bones laid bare. His breath was frost, his soul was thin, the night outside, the storm within. I'm tired and drunk, he softly said, his thoughts like snow beneath him spread. But if I run, if I don't stall, perhaps I will find a way through all. But fate is strange when steps are weak, stumbles sent him cheek to cheek with someone walking, just as lost, two paths that met, no matter cost. Forgive me, Seo Isul bowed his head, what should I do? His conscience said. But then the man, with kind concern, replied, forgive me in return. I didn't see you in the cold, you look unwell. Are you controlled by sorrow's hand, by hunger's grip? His voice was calm, steady ship. And Seo Isul thought, could this be grace? A way, name, kindly face. Could I release what I have known? The pain, the fear, I have walked alone. Scene shift to warmth, hotel room. Now warmth replaced the bitter air, table, food, a stranger's care. He ate as if the meal might flee, while tears mixed in with urgency. You are starving, laughed the man with ease, are those your tear or just the breeze? With trembling voice and lowered head, thank you, was all Seo Isul said. But kindness bore its gentle weight. You are done. Then bath, it's getting late. What? He asked, unsure, on guard. The man approached, not acting hard. He held his hand, not with demand, but with a smile, not a command. Why run away, now that you are fed? Meal like that, it must be paid. My hand, said Seo Isul, eyes unsure, still haunted by what he would endured. And there, the night began to turn, with food, with words, with warmth to learn. That even when the world feels wrong, gentle touch can still belong. The moment he slammed Seo Isul onto the bed, the world seemed to tilt, the ceiling bending like a wave above his head. His voice cut through the heavy air, sharp and unrelenting, you can't even control your pheromones, that scent you are leaking. It wasn't just a scent. It was a scream, silent, desperate signal unraveling from his skin, like smoke from a burning home. He leaned in, the heat of his breath brushing his ear. Are you an omega? As if the word itself could damn him. As if naming it made it true. He didn't answer, he couldn't. He stared down at him, eyes searching, cruel in their clarity. Why do you make life so hard for yourself? You could live easily, don't you need money? Money, like it could mend what was broken inside him. Like it could replace the feeling of being held without fear. Inside, his thoughts twisted into barbed wire, there's no one in this world who can be trusted. The pheromones between them surged, thick as velvet and impossible to ignore. Then, the collapse, the surrender, the inevitable fall. His body obeyed what his heart couldn't comprehend. Pain and lust burst into my head so violently, I forgot who I was. I forgot the difference between desire and destruction. And when his hands gripped him like he was something fragile but burning, when their bodies spoke in a language older than fear, something inside him broke open. My heart, it's racing. My whole body burns like it's been kissed by a fire that doesn't hurt, fire that promises love but only in the dark. Then morning came like punishment. The sun filtered through the curtains like judgment. And he was gone. No scent, no warmth, just water in the bathroom sink, and money on the table. Like a debt had been paid. What is this? He left after bathing me. What did I expect? He stared at the cash like it might turn to trash. I'm scared I will become like my mother. Scared of how easy it is to give in. Scared that I will mistake this emptiness for love. So he ran. Again. Not toward anything, but away from the truth. I chose life, he told himself. But it's a life not so different from death, just thirst in a prettier glass. Thirst for love, for money, for something that feels like being wanted. He washed his face. Stared into his own hollow eyes. Today is a day full of trash. And I don't want it. Not like this. Then scene shift to the Alpha's house, where dimly lit room. Alpha sits in silence, his eyes fixed on the glow of his phone screen, like it holds a universe he's trying to understand. Seo Isul steps in, voice soft, but heavy like rain and said Kyong. Alpha, without lifting his gaze, his voice flat like cold steel and said why. Seo Isul, after a pause, his voice trembling like a match in the wind, let's just break up. Alpha, eyes finally meeting Seo Isul, fire flickering beneath eyes. Why are you suddenly speaking in riddles? CO Isul says nothing. He turns each step away like a thread, pulling loose from a once warm sweater. Then he left the room. CO Isul walks down a quiet road, city lights blurring behind cars he won't let fall. CO Isul said to himself, voice nearly swallowed by the dark. I just need a place to stay just for a few days, little silence to hear myself think. This is right, isn't it? Voice cuts through the quiet like a blade. Alpha from behind, his tone cracked with disbelief and fury. CO Isul. Alpha storms up, grabs CO Isul here, not to hurt, but as if to hold on to something, already slipping away. Alpha voice like thunder, but eyes wide with hurt. You want to break up. You don't even have a place to fall. I gave you shelter, warmth, a name to rest under. And now you say goodbye like it's nothing. How dare you throw us away like this? Later, Alpha said, alone again under the flickering light of the same phone screen. I didn't know I would be this angry, maybe because losing him feels like burning down the only house I ever built with my own hands.